Jubilant Aussies in Sydney have flocked to bars and restaurants to celebrate their freedom from COVID restrictions, in sharp contrast to Melbourne, which has endured more time in lockdown than any other city in the world. Beleaguered residents in Victoria's capital city of Melbourne have suffered 253 days of draconian stay-at-home COVID restrictions, eclipsing Buenos Aires to hold the unenviable world record. But while Melbournians are now pinning their hopes on a relaxation of rules before the Australian summer, millions in New South Wales have been released from their lockdown and are already basking in their newfound freedom by heading out for a drink. Pubs, cafes and retail stores reopened yesterday after vaccination levels across the state's adult population crossed 70%. Sydney's COVID cases fell to the lowest in 2 months on Tuesday, while total infections across the state dropped to 360, marking a steady downward trend. Melbournians, however, can only look on in envy as they remain mostly stuck in their homes. By the time they are expected to ease later this month. Adults are only able to go outside for essential shopping, authorized work, exercise, caregiving and medical appointments, while a curfew is also in place between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m. Most schools have been closed for months, and there are already attainment gaps between children in Victoria and their peers across the country. The hospitality industry has been crippled, with many bars and restaurants shutting their doors for good, while economists estimate around £500 million is lost for every week of lockdown. Victoria's first lockdown started in March 30 until May 12, when restrictions were eased to the envy of many countries around the world. But it only lasted until July 8, when the state was plunged back into a 111-day lockdown until October 27. Since then, a brief 5-day firebreak lockdown in February was implemented, followed by 3 longer stints, of which the current has been going on since August 5. The measures have been met with fierce backlash and protests from angry residents in both Sydney and Melbourne, unhappy at being locked up for so long, leading to ugly clashes with police and multiple arrests. The current restrictions are likely to remain in place until at least October 26, when the state is predicted to hit a 70% vaccination rate. But experts fear that current infection rates will continue to surge, with Victoria experiencing 3,000 new cases per day by the end of the month. Nearly 1,500 infections were recorded in the state on Tuesday, the lowest in 6 days, but still far higher than the 360 registered in New South Wales. Victoria has had a total of 55,936 infections, while New South Wales has recorded 69,552 cases throughout the pandemic. The federal government has been pressing states to begin living with the virus when vaccination rates reach 70%, but some virus-free states said they may delay their reopening amid concerns that a surge in cases will overwhelm their health systems. New South Wales hit the target last weekend at 12:01 a.m. on Monday. Stay-at-home orders and business closures ended after they were implemented in June. Going to the pub, dining out, getting a haircut, seeing a movie at the cinema and heading to the gym are some of the activities vaccinated residents can now do under the new orders. They will also be able to see vaccinated family and friends with up to 10 visitors allowed for home gatherings and up to 30 outdoors under increased caps announced by new Premier Dominic Perrottet. Gyms, cafes, restaurants, pubs, bars, non-essential retail, libraries and churches can operate under the 1 person per 4 square meters rule, but nightclubs will remain closed. Hairdressers and beauticians will also welcome back vaccinated clients but are restricted to a maximum of 5 in the premises at one time. Gyms can have up to 20 clients per class while stadiums, racecourses, theme parks and zoos can have up to 5,000 visitors. Indoor entertainment facilities such as cinemas, theaters, music halls, museums and galleries can reopen with 1 person per 4 square meters or 75% fixed seated capacity. Up to 100 vaccinated guests can attend a wedding or funeral but must be seated when eating and drinking. Vaccinated residents can venture more than 5 kilometers from their home and travel anywhere within Sydney. Intrastate travel to regional areas remains banned for another few weeks. Masks in outdoor settings are no longer mandatory, except for hospitality workers actively serving customers. Further restrictions will be eased later this month once NSW hits 80% vaccination before life opens up to the unvaccinated from December 1st. But in Melbourne, these freedoms remain weeks away for all its residents as the government battles to contain the contagious Delta variant. At this point in time, we are on track in terms of hospitalizations and new cases, she said. But I will remind you there is a middle line and an upper and lower band, and we are still within that band. On Saturday, the state recorded 1,965 new cases, breaking the previous record 3 times in 1 week. More than 86% of Victorians have now received at least one COVID jab and more than 58% are fully vaccinated.